One of the best software quality specialists I ever hired or employed was a philosophy major in college. Greetings, I'm Dr. Will, and welcome to Dr. Will's Software Quality Channel, where we raise the quality of software being built today. A technical degree, or lack thereof, is one form of certification. There are several certificates offered, but none universally accepted as the gold standard for software quality assurance specialists. If you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you. And if you'd like more content like this, then go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell below to be notified of new content when it becomes available. First, does it help to have a technical degree? Well, sure. Personal characteristics, though, are more important than a degree or passing a multiple choice test from some board that is trying to become the standard for software quality certification as their business model. What characteristics are the most important? Well, here's my top 10. We'll talk about more of each of these characteristics, as a matter of fact, in future videos. The first one on my list is a quality focus. As we never tire of mentioning here, quality assurance is much broader than software testing. And in fact, it's a mindset. Having a quality focus is a matter of not being ready to settle for less than the best something can be. Number two is an analytical mind. One should have an analytical mind. One should be able to break apart a problem and understand its constituent parts. Curiosity and creativity, that's kind of two, but that's my number three. They go together. Being curious, wanting to explore why something is the way it is, and being able to explore in a way that puts you in the shoes or in the seat, if you will, of the end user is one very useful skill, critical skill for software quality. Attention to detail. If anything can be said about software development and software in general, having attention to detail is a critical skill, crucial. It's no less important in quality assurance than it is in development or in DevOps. In all three areas of software, one has to be able to pay attention to the minutiae, if you will, so that you can detect subtle indicators of a flaw in the software. Number 5 on my list is you have to be a good team player and a good communicator. Software development's a team sport. It always has been. Sure, there are the lone wolves and the lone rangers out there who, code slingers that will sit in the basement and just hack out code and are perfectly satisfied and happy doing that. There's a role for those folks, but generally speaking, you're going to need to be able to work in a group of people, especially for any appreciably large body of software. As far as communicating is concerned, it's part and parcel of being a good team player is being able to communicate with your teammates, with the customer, with the vendors, and everybody else. When I say a good communicator, I mean both a sender and receiver of communication. So you have to not only be able to speak and write well, you also need to be able to listen and read. You need to be a quick learner. There's always new tools, there's new requirements, there's new techniques. Everything is always new, it seems, and things are developing and galloping along at a brutal pace. So you have to be able to keep up with that in order to be able to manage your work and your workflow. Number 7 is you have to be persistent. You have to persevere in trying to discover all of the errors that may be lurking within the application that you're testing and the set of requirements that you're reviewing, the design that you're reviewing, all of the body of work that goes into being a good software quality specialist. You have to persist, persevere, and stay focused on that task at hand until you find as much as you can possibly find. Number 8, you need to be customer or user focused. You have to have empathy. You have to care that the end user is going to have a good experience with the system, that they're going to find it useful, that they're going to be able to perform useful work with the system. Griping about the customer, griping about the end user, how they are not using the system the way it was built, kind of misses the point. If you're building the system the way they're not going to use it, then the fault's yours, not theirs. You fail to understand the customer's needs and their basic modus operandi, their way of doing business, and that's your problem, not theirs. Number 9 is You have to be organized, a good time manager. There's never enough time to do everything. So you have to apply your judgment as to what is most important, what needs to be done first. So we were once delivered a wall of documentation, kind of like this wall of books behind me, of documentation on a large scale real-time simulation that we were developing when I was in the Air Force. And it was late. I was like 3 weeks late getting to us. So we had 2 days to review it. We would have had 3 weeks and 2 days to review it had it been on time. But in order to get back on schedule, where they cut our review time. So I went looking in the software interface specifications, because usually interfaces are the place where a lot of problems will lurk, because each of the different organizations or groups that are developing different parts of the system are shoving all of their problems into the interface. Kind of like saying, well, that side of the interface is going to do the hard computation, then I'll just get the data from them and proceed with my processing. The other side, of course, is doing the same thing, and if you don't have a system architect who's overseeing it and making sure that that's being coordinated and those judgments are being exercised, then you end up with kind of a mismatch on the interface spec. So that's a good place to look for problems. So I found my quota of problems there, and we were able to spend enough time looking for the rest of the issues in order to build a higher quality real-time simulation. Finally, number 10 is following directions. That's following directions without griping, whining, moaning, bitching, whatever. There's a time and a place for complaints, and usually it's over a beer with your peers. But on the job, and when you're trying to get something done, especially trying to get something out the door for a production release, that is not the time. So you need to be able to follow directions. You provide input as to whether things are moving too fast, whether things need to be redone in some sense. But if the decision is made, no, we have to proceed and we have to get the thing out the door for business purposes, then you have to be willing to follow those directions and do the best you can with them. My 10 characteristics for a good software quality assurance specialist, beginning software quality assurance specialist, even one without a technical degree, or especially one without a technical degree, is first of all, they have to have a quality focus, an analytical mind. To go along with that analytical mind, they have to have curiosity and creativity. Pay good attention to detail. They have to be a team player, a good communicator. They have to be a quick learner and a willing learner. They have to be persistent and persevere at their job. They have to be customer or user focused or centric, and they have to be organized, good time managers, and they have to follow directions. So those are my 10. This channel is dedicated to quality, especially software quality, so if you'd like to have more content like this, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell below in order to be notified when new content becomes available. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments or send them along to us, and be happy to answer them at a later date. That's it for me, for you, for now. I hope you have a great day and a great week ahead. I want you to be careful out there. I'll be seeing you. Bye.